I was excited to play Barcelona because in football you want to play the best.
They were by far the best team in the world.
Lenny was not a manager really to overthink it.
He was more of a motivator.
So he picked the ball up and he said, everyone have a good look at this because tomorrow night you won't be seeing it.
Yeah, Xavi was just like, do you not get bored playing like this? We're playing against you, we don't do this every week.
The loudest I've ever heard in Celtic Park.
Everyone just couldn't believe it, what happened. We were at Lennox Town, we were all gathered in the canteen area, waiting for the draw.
Yeah, I can remember Neil Lennon gathers all in the canteen, and so exciting to sit there and wait for who you're getting and to see Barcelona come out. And you know how difficult a game is. You know that they're one of the best teams in recent memory, and some have said of all time. The Guardiola team, although he wasn't the manager at the time, it was still a lot of the same players.
At the beginning, I was excited to play Barcelona because everybody in football you want to play the best.
Glad that you've got a huge name in European football in your group to go to their place, the Nou Camp, world famous stadium, and for them to come to us, and yeah, an amazing excitement and anticipation for the fixture.
It's when we played teams down in Scotland, if we wasn't having the best of games and we'd get in at half time, and obviously Lenny can shout and he can lose his head, he would say, you're not playing against Barcelona. So when we were building up to the Barcelona game, he kept saying that as a joke. We're only playing Barcelona this time, so yeah, it was good humour as well, but I think it made a lot of the lads relax and stuff, just keeping it as normal as possible.
Trained on the Camp Nou, and I remember Neil Lennon calling us in, thinking, oh no, what's happened here? Someone done something. And he picked the ball up and he said, everyone have a good look at this football. And he put it down, he said, because tomorrow night you won't be seeing it.
We used to play little games at the end of training. The first game would be all in, second game 2-touch, and then the last game would be no talking. So you couldn't shout for the ball or tell someone man on. So it was all like, that's a bit weird. But then he explained, when you're playing in a Nou Camp, you won't be able to hear each other anyway, because it's that loud.
I think everyone thought that we were going to nick a point away from home. We looked really comfortable, and then, when you're playing against these players, they can do something like that in a split second. And, Jordi Alba, we knew what he was capable of doing. He's always going to bomb on. And he found a space at the back post and slotted it in, and it's devastating because you work so hard in 90 minutes. To concede in the 94th minute was heartbreaking, but there was so much positives to take out of that game, and we knew, to take that team to 94 minutes drawing was remarkable away from home, and we knew, get them at Celtic Park, then it could be a completely different a scenario. So yeah, a lot of positives to take out of that game for sure going into the home leg.
Neil Lennon's instructions were very simple. He was more of a motivator. Go out there and play and express yourself.
Lenny was not a manager really to overthink it. Games, big games, he wouldn't overthink it or make anything different. So he wasn't a massive person on shape.
But most important thing, he tells us, we know we're not going to have the ball. But when you look at the Barcelona team, then you just feel like you can go out, you can crush them because of the size they have. So that's what's going on through our mind. We just look at them like, wow, these guys are like not big, so we can put the ball in the air, they cannot stop us or do anything.
The 125th anniversary was something special walking out of that, and you could just feel like there was a good atmosphere around the stadium. We had a lot of players missing, Gary Hooper, Scott Brown, our leader.
The Champions League anthem goes on and the fans were screaming. It was the loudest I've ever heard in Celtic Park. Like for me, seeing the fans, the call or the effort, the occasion, like is unbelievable. Like that gave us extra motivation that today we have to just give everything for these guys that have come to support us. And for the occasion of that day, we just say, wow, we cannot let them down.
The script was back post. I think it was Jordi Alba was always in the back post. And it was our plan is, with Charlie's left foot as well, which we've seen throughout his career, his delivery is second to none. And for Big Victor to arrive back post and tower against Alba. So we worked on that.
See, I remember doing it in training, and it wasn't as often as I'd liked. It wasn't bang on the time. You would always miss a few or not get it quite precise.
Me and Adam Matthews were talking day before the game. Lenny was saying about getting a corner, and I turned to Adam and said, how the hell are we going to get a corner against these?
To be honest with you, when we were doing it, I was wondering, how are we going to get a corner here? Especially 5 minutes into the game when we've I've load a kick for the first 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and you're wondering, well, how are we getting a corner? We get a throw in. People talk about the 12th man at Celtic Park with the fans, and for me that's the way it's summed up. We get a throw in our own half in the first 10 minutes and the whole place erupts. Like, get behind us and you all of a sudden think, we're doing well, but you've only really got a throw in your half. So
the main source of a goal for us, we knew it would be probably through a set piece. So, and we knew that we could score against Barcelona from a set piece. We was more dangerous from a set piece than them.
On the night, and when I look back now, you get one chance to put that ball in that area. I mean, if I had to think like that, I don't think I would have got it in that area. But at the time when you get the corner, you're just thinking, right, let's just focus for this moment and just hang it up the back there and see what comes of it. What helps is the fans don't know that's what you're doing, so there's no pressure there in terms of, you just put a ball in and they don't understand where you're trying to put it. So when it left my foot and I realised it was going in the area, I thought it's there. And then I knew that Big Victor would get above Jordi Alba. There was no contest there, and then the ball would hit the net, and to think that we've scored the goal was an amazing feeling.
Sometimes in those games you need a little bit of luck, and we had that, especially with Tony Watt, with Mascherano sort of missing that judgment of the bounce, and Tony's come on and we needed fresh legs. You could see a lot of us players are running on empty, and he's gone through, and what a finish it was to make it 2-0. And the roar, I've never heard the roar like it, and the full-time whistle. And then it's just about seeing the game out. Waste time. If you go down, because they do it to us as well.
Neil Lennon famously says he turns around the bench and says it's like 5 minutes to go or something, 6 minutes to go, maybe 8 minutes max. Turns around the bench and said, I would take a draw now, and we're 2-0 up. Obviously joking, but with a hint of seriousness. It shows how much Barcelona were putting pressure on us and how many sort of opportunities and how much defending we had to do.
Obviously they scored near the end and it was like, oh God, here we go, surely not. But yeah, we held on and it was a great result.
Fraser Foster that night was unbelievable. Kept us in the game, some unbelievable saves. Everyone just couldn't believe it, what happened. I think not just us players, but the whole fans as well in that stadium. Because they were by far the best team in the world at that point. And everyone was just over the moon, everyone celebrating, everyone dancing. It was just one of those where you pinch yourself, like you just played against the best team in the world and the best players in the world, and you've come out and beat them. And it was a massive win for us as well to get out of the group.
Not just that we beat Barcelona, but I think if we got a point or we won the next game, I think it was Spartak Moscow, that we're going to be in the last 16. That's what it was for me. It's like the last 16 now, and that was the main thing for me. I remember Xavi saying, why are you always back? Come out a bit, you always defend. We're like, we're not as good as you. We had a drug test after the game at Celtic Park, and when you have a drug test to take, say like I was number 6, so to take a number 6 out of the hat, so it's number 6 from both teams. So I was in the room with Xavi after the game, and 21 as well, so it was Charlie Mulgrew and Alexis Sanchez. So we're all in the room, and yeah, Xavi was just like, do you not get bored playing like this? We're like, we're playing against you, we don't do this every week. This is, how good you guys are. Like, yes, but you have to try and win. We was like, we did win, So it was kind of a bit of a joke like that with them. We're just sitting there drinking bottles of water, trying to get it down us. And I think I took over an hour until I could, because you have to fill a certain pot up. Anyway, finally went into the change rooms and everyone's gone.
Listen, nothing would have killed my buzz, but I'd have loved to have been in there to see what happened. I was asking the players and that what the manager said, because I'd loved Neil Lennon's style of management, and after a game like that, it would have been great to be in there. But listen, me and Kelvin and a wee guy called Xavi had a good time in there. Well, me and Kelvin did, I don't know if he did, but we had a couple of beers and enjoyed our time in there.
Going to the dressing room, the manager came in and he was so happy, like we gave something that they will remember us for life. So that's what he said to us. He said, this victory, you will not know the importance now, but after football or when you stop or in the future, you will know what you have done for this club, so you'll be remembered. I
arranged to swap tops with Iniesta. As we walked off the pitch, I couldn't see him. And then I walked up to the changing room and I opened the changing room door, the Barcelona changing room door, and they were all arguing and fighting and trying to get at each other. So there was like standing on the bench and they were all grabbing and pulling, and I just opened the door and I looked and I just thought, oh, listen, just to know that means so much to them and they're fighting with each other. A few of the boys went out in Glasgow with pure excitement and I didn't. I just went home. I just went home. I mean, I look back now and think maybe you should seize the moment and go and enjoy yourself, but the nature of being at Celtic is when you're in that moment, it's about the next game. So although it's an amazing feeling, you need to sort of sometimes have a word with yourself and think, right, you're only ever one defeat in the next game away for being a disaster again, and that's just the nature of being at Celtic. It's the mentality you need to have to be there.